are back with another unboxing and review. However, I did not purchase this one. One of my friends got this as a Christmas present and asked me if I wanted to unbox it and give it a review on my channel. So let's get into it. Here is Robotech VF-1S Super Valkyrie. This figure was released by Bandai early last year, but it's based off the original Super Valkyrie that came out in the early 80s. This one is significantly smaller, but seemingly has a lot of the same parts and accessories, but we'll get into that in a minute. Macross and Robotech was always something I wanted to get into as a kid, but I didn't know where to start. I don't recall ever seeing them in the toy store, but I knew they were around because I did see the cartoon at some point, as well as Transformers straight ripping off the design for Jetfire. Don't get me wrong, Jetfire's design is awesome, but I'm guessing there was some sort of crossover or cross-promotion plan or situation that I'm not aware of, but if you have more information on that, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Pulling this thing out of the package, there are so many accessory pieces. If you pick this thing up, you're going to need a dedicated place to put all the extra pieces if you don't attach them to the figure itself. Literally 2 full blister packs full of parts. The box said that there is some metal components to this figure, but it feels mostly plastic. There may be some metal bits inside the joints, but I was hoping for a more heavy die-cast metal feeling to this, like the original Jetfire was. Here's the original Jetfire in comparison to this guy. This version of Jetfire is also my buddy's. He sent it along with this figure and asked me to paint it up to look like the Super Valkyrie. That's a project for another time, so make sure you like and subscribe to be notified when that drops. That project should be a blast, or an absolute nightmare, so come watch what ensues. This also comes with a nice high-gloss schematic of the Super Valkyrie. This was a nice addition that could be framed and hung up. My first step was to get this figure transformed into half-jet form. I was hoping this figure would feel a lot more sturdy for the price tag. I don't officially know the price tag, but it wasn't cheap and I didn't want to break it. Just getting him into his half-jet mode took over 20 minutes. The directions were pretty clear, but also things weren't moving into place like they were supposed to be moving, if that makes sense. It took some finagling, but I finally got there. Maybe it's that first time out of the package situation, but again, this wasn't mine and I didn't want to break it. Now that I got him in his half-plane mode, he looks pretty badass. Here is the comparison of Jetfire in his half-plane mode. This comes with a clear cockpit cover that you can change out when you put him into half-plane or full-plane mode, because you also get a tiny pilot to put into the cockpit. There are also 2 different sets of hands that you can use. They showed these hands in the booklet that they use for the half-plane mode, which I don't understand. The hands that came in the robot mode were very robotic looking, but these hands that they want you to use almost feels like he has big gloves on, kind of like Mickey Mouse gloves. So I guess it's all just your preference. You get 3 different hands, a pair of pistol shooty hands, a pair of splayed out open hands, and a pair of fist hands. The shooty hands nicely hold his giant cannon that he comes with. So from here, I started to put him into plane mode, very carefully. The way his arm pieces slid into his underside, they can easily pop off. I got scared a minute, I thought I broke it. Getting him into plane mode was slightly easier, but equally as frustrating. This figure looks pretty great in plane mode. The giant cannon fits on the bottom of the plane once transformed. Now that he's in plane mode, he has attachable landing gear that you can put on. The back panels pop off pretty easily. The nose piece on the front, however, would not come off. You're supposed to be able to pry this off with your nail to put the landing gear in, but I had to use tools to pry it open. Maybe this was just a manufacturing error, I don't know. Again, very afraid to break this thing. Once I got all the landing gear on, I could start adorning this thing with the mass amount of accessories to make this thing into the Super Valkyrie. I don't even know where to begin with naming all of these parts. It comes with a pair of giant thrusters that you attach to the top of the plane. His legs get these additional chunky pieces that have additional thrusters on them. They bulk out the overall look. There are also a second set of wings that come in the kit. They have small peg holes where you can attach missiles to the bottom of them. Each wing has 3 missiles. This thing is looking pretty beefy. Let's get him up on the turntable for my final thoughts. I will say that I did do this figure a little disservice on the last image. While having him on the turntable, I was actively disassembling him and transforming him back into robot mode so I could repackage him and send him back off to my friend. Unfortunately, I did not attach all the accessories onto his robot mode to look like the Super Valkyrie robot. I will say I screwed up there, but I also wanted to get this back to my friend in a timely manner. And all the transforming from the start of this review to the finishing of these on the turntable took me almost half a day. All that being said, it does come with a hefty price tag. That immediately deters me since I have no real attachment to this line of figures. Would I have liked it to be a little less plastic and a little more like the original Jetfire was, with the metal bits and everything? Absolutely. But if this is something that you enjoyed as a kid or as an adult and you got the money, this might be up your alley. Here's an image of what he's supposed to look like with all those accessory pieces on him in robot mode. Thank you, Cam, for lending me a Christmas present for a few weeks so I could do this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out all the other videos on my channel. Keep an eye out for that Jetfire repaint. It should be interesting. Thanks again, and I'll catch you next time.